Default methods inside or in interface. Default methods in interface, right? This is JDK 8 feature. This is the new feature introduced in JDK 8. So what are the default methods? A method which is defined using default keyword, which is defined using the default keyword. This is what a default method. How can we access? Right, we access the default methods through object reference only. Through object reference, we must create the object for the implemented class and then only we can access. Right, let me explain one simple example. See, I'm taking one class, main method, and I'm writing the interface. How can we define the interfaces? Using the interface keyword. Suppose interface name I have given first. So generally interfaces allowed only abstract methods, right? By default, every method is an abstract method. By default, the method is a public and abstract. And now, since JDK 7, they introduced static methods in interface. How can you define the static methods? Using the static keyword. See here, I'm just defining and I have written a small message like a static method of interface. Interface static method I have written. And next, now in JDK 8, they introduced default methods. Default method is also concrete method only, but we are defining with the keyword called default. System.out.println, this is interface default method. The three types of methods. So one is a concrete method, abstract method. Instance method is an abstract method, but which is by default public. Next one is a static method. Next one is a default method. Static methods we can access using that interface name. Default methods means what? We can access by creating object, but directly you cannot create object for interface. There should be an implemented class. So I'm taking one class. Class is a second, which is implementing the first. First is an interface. In the implemented class, what we have to do? We must override the M1 method. Public void M1. And here we are defining system.out.println, and this is interface abstract method. So the three methods are present in interface. Abstract method, nothing but instance method, static method, and default method. So if you want to access the abstract method, nothing but instance method, of course, we should create object. To the implemented class, we create the object, and the reference we are collecting into first interface type, so that we access obj.m1. And M2 is which type? M2 is a static type. How can you access static means what? Using its name. What is the name? First dot M2. Next, right? We are accessing the default method. As we discussed, default methods also we are accessing using object, not through name. obj.m3. This is the way of accessing. Interface abstract method, interface static method, and interface default method. This is the way. So these type of methods are present in the interface, right? By default, methods are public and abstract. We can define static since JDK 7, and we can define default since JDK 8. Static methods we can access using the name identity of interface. Default methods we can access through implemented class object.